Hey folks, welcome back. So here's part two of the siding. So today we'll be showing the starter strip and all the actual siding pieces going on. So make sure you like this video. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Stay tuned and enjoy. Thank you. Okay, so for starter strip, I'm using galvanized, I think that's like 2.5 inch, I want to say. I put this piece on already. Bit of a pain in the butt, so more or less you just want to make sure it's level and that it's hanging down. I've got it hanging down probably about an inch, I guess. I'd say it's almost level, basically level with the corner there. So that kind of works out. You can see over here it basically lines up perfectly. So I just went along and I used the level as I went. Those are my tools. Kind of put a nail in one end and then held it up and kind of checked the level, and then pegged it in with the nail and then kind of checked the level again. And a little bit tedious, but you just want to make sure that that's nice and straight. When that's nice and straight, then your siding will go up level and straight and neat, right? If you had that way off, then your siding's going to go on, it's going to be tilted to one side or the other or whatever, right? So which is going to affect your cuts. You're going to be cutting weird angles and all sorts of stuff. So plus the siding itself, the lines will be on an angle. So very important step to make sure that's nice and straight and level. So yeah, we'll get to it. I'll probably just time lapse it from here. So Okay, so we're all done the trim. We're finally at the point of doing actual pieces of siding. So I'm gonna start on the very back wall first. I don't know how much actual kind of teaching or training I'm gonna do throughout it. It's the first time I'm doing it, and I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna go. So I'll show you the siding here. So the siding we're using, it's the Manor color. It's Timber Crest Color Pro, I want to say, or Color Fast, from Menards. Fairly durable siding. It's a .046, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the tools I'm using for doing the vinyl. So I'll show you here. We got our measuring tape, pencil, speed square for straight lines, tin snips for cutting. This is a snap lock punch tool. Actually, no, sorry. Yes, nail slot punch tool. So if you need to expand your nail slot, this is what you do. This is what you use. Roofing nails, 2-inch roofing nail. I believe these are aluminum. Yeah, using those. And then I do have a snap block punch tool, which I think is over here. Somewhere in this mess. But it's basically for when I get to the top or any of the undersill trim, I'll actually make indentations, and that'll go in there and help it hold it in place. So I'll show you that when we get to it. But okay, so I'm up to my old tricks again. I haven't been filming all the siding. It started out, I've never done it before, so it was a little cumbersome trying to figure it out. So rather than making an editing nightmare for me in the end, I thought I'd just do a wall and then maybe start filming afterwards, and just so it goes a little bit smoother. So I'll show you what I've done. I've done the back wall. Oh, I'm like standing too close, but it's a little hard to show. Oh, in the tree. Yeah, so I think it turned out pretty well. The vent was a little challenging to go around. But yeah, otherwise it looks pretty good, I'd say. Top piece was a little interesting. But anyways, yeah, I'm on to the big tall section. So I've started it, so now I'm up to the windows. So I thought I'd probably just show you quickly how to cut around an obstacle. So there's kind of the general rule for siding is you want to leave a 1/4 inch gap. Like you don't want to have it right up tight into your corner post or into a J channel. You want to leave a 1/4 inch basically for that expansion. The other thing too is nailing. Nailing is very important, so you don't want to nail it tight. So I can show you here the nails. Like it's not tight, I'm basically able to move it. And I won't do it, but and I've tested it on a few pieces, but if you can like basically pull on it and slide it back and forth, then you're good. You're really trying to just hang the siding. You don't want to like nail it right tight. So just think of it that way. You're hanging it. So yeah, so nailing, 1/4 inch gap. My overlap, I'll show you my overlap here. So these are all how they come from the factory. This is a 2-inch piece, so it's overlapped about 1 inch. You don't really want to go more than that. All this siding clips in basically underneath, so that's what took me a bit of getting used to. You kind of have to like hook it in and pull it up kind of quickly and then kind of move along and make sure it's all snapped in. And then yeah, just getting it into your corner posts and leaving a bit of a gap. Yeah. So in terms of cutting around obstacles, so we're going to do this piece now. So basically what I did is I took the measurement from right tight inside to there, and then subtracted, I guess you'd subtract a 1/2 inch. Sorry, the math is kind of still confusing in my mind, but I think you want to subtract a 1/2 inch, so a 1/4 inch for each side. So it's not right tight. So subtract that 1/2 inch and then basically measure your window from edge to edge, like underneath. And I take that measurement and I add 1/2 inch, I believe it is. Yes. Add 1/2 inch. Which allows that 1/4 inch on either side. I might be wrong on this, but we'll see. And then your undersill trim, so you want to measure up. So you basically measure from right here, right up. Again, kind of tight inside that undersill trim and then subtract 1/4 inch. Yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna go inside and measure it all out and cut it, and then I'll show you putting it on, and yeah, we'll probably do that for the next couple pieces, and then we'll start time lapsing. So let's get to it. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to put the little indentation along that lower edge. So we're using this tool here, and it just kind of punches it and makes a bit of like an imprint and indentation that'll stick out, so it'll catch that edge. Always nail into the middle of your nailing slot, and use one of these if you can't to expand the slot, because if you don't put the nail in the middle of the slot, it could bump up against the end and you'll get buckling if it's expanding or contracting. So just a tip. Okay, so there you have it. That's how to put a piece around an obstacle like a window. You do the same thing. I did the same thing for my vent, top of a door. Yeah, so probably won't show that again. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. But yeah, I don't know. I think that worked out pretty well. So now I have to do the same thing for that window, and then it'll be a little bit easier. I can just cut shorter pieces as I go up the windows. So yeah, we'll just time lapse it probably from here. So now we're at the very top of the windows with the siding. So the next step, I'm going to take some undersill trim, I think, and put it along the top of the windows. I don't think it's necessary, but I have quite a bit left over, so that'll just help lock that that next piece in place. So yeah, so just up there I'll put some undersill trim kind of upside down, and then we'll get to those next pieces, which then we'll be past the windows and finishing up the upper portion. Okay, so we got that undersill trim up there on the windows. So the next step is cutting the first piece to go over the window. So I tried to explain it before, and I don't think I explained it well, but what I've done is I've taken a measurement from directly inside there to directly inside there. Basically tight, but I want to subtract 1/2 inch. That'll give me a 1/4 inch room on either side. I know the window is 28 inches wide, so then I would add 1/2 inch to that because I want a 1/4 inch on either side. So I'm going to cut out a space that's 28.5 inches. And then I just have to do the measurement basically from the lip to the top, and I will add a 1/4 inch because I want a 1/4 inch gap on top. So that's how much I will cut it, a 28.5 inch wide by, I don't know, it's only going to be probably 3 or 4 inches high section to fit over that window. And then the rest will just go down there, and then we'll start the next piece, which will overlap. So yeah, let's get to it. So I've measured my 28.5. I'll make another mark at 3 inches, 3 1/4 inches here. I'll draw a straight line between the two. Okay. Get this cut out. I'm now a little bit worried about finishing this wall off, how it's going to go if it's off by 1/4 inch. I'm guessing it'll just, at the top, I'll have to kind of cut a bit of an angled piece. We'll see how these next few pieces go though. Okay, so there we go. So now we'll go outside and test it. So there it is. First piece up and over the window. One more piece to overlap. I think I'll just time lapse it and save you from watching all of that. Yeah, so we'll get that piece above that window, and then it's pretty straightforward from there. Just back and forth. Finish this wall off. So I've run into a bit of a conundrum here. I was gonna start this last row, so I put this piece up and I noticed that it basically sits right on the undersill trim. Yeah, my initial reaction was to just go ahead and pull all the undersill trim and work up to the J channel and use the J channel as that last catch. I went down to the other end and checked, and it is off, so this same piece down at the other end sits below the undersill trim, so my original plan would work. So I tested along the whole way, and I found just basically this last, I don't know, probably up until about there, this way, it catches that. It sits right on that undersill trim. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to keep the undersill trim and just try to fudge this first 6 feet or so, and then it should straighten out and will be better as I work that end, and then I'll have to get a tiny little strip probably to finish off the top, but yeah, we'll figure that out now. So I'm actually gonna, I think, leave that top row for now and just think about it a little bit. Not really sure what I want to do, if I want to pull that undersill trim and just work up under the J channel maybe. I'm just thinking of cutting a section of the undersill trim out near the start. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to give it some thought. So I think I'm going to start the opposite side, and I'll have to come back and finish this one off.